racking up eliminations back to back, potentially get through with Siphon as well. So even though players, as we're tuning in, may not have a ton of eliminations now, does not mean that they will not end the game with a bunch. I promise you they will.
As we get closer now to that first placement threshold, trying to find the elimination here as Isu picks up Cool Gamer only. Volca gets Pride Joker, and then we're into the top 16. Picks up and Nordy there as Spades picks up a double as well. Gal and M-Pen both going down, getting closer to that top 10 as K tries to find a little bit of space. He's going along this backside of the circle, looking for new targets and to just get out of the side he was pinned against. As you see now, your Bravo and Smacked on that ultimate high ground forward, utilizing the baller rotation along with Spades to try and just get farther in here. Grenade launches rocketing down from the high ground as Spades does get picked up by Flaws. Anjo getting detained. Festival picking up Iconic as well. Can he get back in? He does manage to get in the storm, but has to work through these metal builds and has to find another Elim since he's only on 44 effective HP. There you go. Siphon ends up coming through. Just could not get picked during that time. It gets real tense, Zeke, when you're waiting for that to take over. Great awareness, and he's going to find more. Tim got more points. Well, it doesn't look like that's the case, and he's going to take Saintus as well. And he just literally has to keep on rolling. So he's going to have a bunch of shield, and he does have a slurp as well to top off. But look up in the high ground. You've got the Impact duo. Smack and Bravo still holding it strong. Volca Prepo by himself. We see players falling left and right. 12 players remain, 9 duos, and it's literally a 2v the world right now. Almost a free-for-all. That's how hectic this game is. Storm Circle A right now, and Prepo just trying to gear himself up, trying to prepare for the incoming brawl as he finds Deadbolt there. Very nice. Now, there's still a duo. I'm assuming it's the Impact Boys up top who have basically been uncontested, which is really great for them. We got a bunch of people in 1x1s. They're going to start the rotations. A nice shot goes out there. Is he going to drop player? No, they've already ramped themselves up. They're okay. And he's out of builds. He has 2 more builds, so can't continue challenging there. Not going to work his way down. Has this thing pushing down. Is in the 1x1, picks up Nani Chance and puts himself into the top 5 as well. So again, we talk about those high impact eliminations. That's one of them. You get the point, and then you also get the placement points for moving up the threshold. Now, Bravo is going to work his way down while Smack covers him. He's got Bravo trying to put down rifle shots. You see the players on the mid-ground chart trying to work away. They are going to take out the launch pad. Still has the baller on the low ground. Players in. Forward GG does get picked up. Now they're still going to work their way down as we're into the top floor. It's the 2 on the high ground. Andrew still just rolling around. Our favorite player, Bowl Cut, still hanging out on the low ground. You have Andrew in that baller on ultimate low ground in the right. Does get dropped out, Smacked in your top right, everyone else on the wide on your left. Andrew looking to find the edit, loses the wall to the heavy sniper, gonna edit himself out and just stick with the storm. Now, Smacked working his way over the top. Volcat is getting pinched and needs to be careful. Bravo and Smacked trying to finish that one up. They are able to get it. Now can they clean up the rest of the lobby? ECO going down, Andrew forced out, runs around, trying to hit him with the rope-a-dope and manages to get back in. It's now split the 2 of them. So 1 below, 1 above. If he can take 2 separate 1v1s, Bravo pops the shadow stuff, try to wall jump his way out of it, but it doesn't matter. Smacked him out. Andrew, he says, hey, you're not in a ball, I'll take that. Man, 6 Elim, Zeke. Bravo and Smack really made an impact on that game there. You just hit me. Ow. You know what's really cool is we're going to move on to the next game, but very quickly, something I noticed that it happened so fast, and it took me a moment to process it, was Bravo was out of build. We saw him out of build for a moment, right? And he dropped down. And what he did was he had popped the shadow bomb, and you could see it was active because he was like double jumping. He was basically scouting down below. That's so sick. He's like, look, I don't have builds. You know what I do have? This shadow bomb. Let me double jump around. Let me spot these guys out. Then that immediately when it was over, they just met back up and they executed. Very well played from them. But now more games to be had. 39 players, 22 duos. We see Nut and Zundi. These guys are at the top right now, and I believe they had 4 games left that they could play. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Sometimes because you want to think like if you could play 10 games, just like
like 10 games across any amount of time, that sounds like, whoa, they've got a whole extra game. But it's a 3-hour window to play in. So basically, what I gather is they're playing their games to completion, right? They've had a great string of games, but you know, it's possible that someone else has racked up a really great game before them, after them, you know, whichever, and could potentially jump up in that first place spot. Now keep in mind, top 1,500 duos or 3,000 players move on to tomorrow. So if this was tomorrow, it'd be a little bit more dangerous, but I guess that's kind of what I gather from that.
So there was actually a fantastic post on the Fortnite competitive Reddit about the kind of psychological approach to quote-unquote throwaway games or rush games, and at what point they don't become that and how you prioritize them. I can't, like, really, when I say, like, really good in-depth posts, like, definitely worth, like, go check it out. I'll see if I can't, like, tweet it out so people can, like, get invested. But the read basically kind of talks about how you need to change your mindset in terms of what you're playing for those games and when to take them, because some players like to wait until later and then try and rush their games, but then you end up trying to rush games against higher level opponents, because again, with the matchmaking system, as you get later in the tournament, you're playing against higher ranked opponents. You're not going to be playing against people who have 0, 1, and 2 points the whole time, so it then gets harder to maximize eliminations out of it. But basically, that's a whole other level of strategy that comes into it, when it's best to play aggressive, when it's best to be specifically going for eliminations, when you need to play for placement, and how to maximize that type of efficiency, because like we said, it comes down to the difference of every point, as Ninja absolutely destroys Posic there, the duo of Niddle, who has already qualified, and I mean, made him look very silly.
Yeah, I mean, Ninja right now is alongside Reverse UK. They're putting in some work. I believe that was their 4th total elimination as a duo. We'll have to see if they can continue to just steam through a lot of these players. But look, I mean, this lobby is still very dense. You know, there's a lot of players. Don't forget, top 15 is that first placement threshold. There's still quite a number of players that need to fall. And look, Nun Zundi are still alive and well. Now, Zundi isn't critical, but just give them a moment. Maybe they can find an Elam along the way, siphon back up. As Ninja and Reverse, they are inside the storm right now. A launch pad. Oh, they bonked their heads. Where's Reverse on the bottom left? Ninja might be going toe-to-toe with the player. He tried for the half shield there, but nothing. He has to be back up with Reverse, because right now they are split. There was a player. Okay, they're getting...
Oh my God! That was so smart. I was going to say, great job to cover him. That player immediately turning his back and rotating off, but Ninja making him pay. Not for the awareness. Great pickup from Reverse. Needs to then convert. Zealous does get picked up by somebody else, so brilliant job. Needs to disengage through, but doesn't quite get it. Zundi, the current leader, picking that one up, but because it was a knock, means Ninja still in the match as we get closer to that second placement threshold. 11 duos remaining, 18 players in, as Reverse does get cleaned up, but not full elim there. As it happens, Ninja gets eliminated outside of the top 10. Zundi and Nut also going down, as this lobby is chaos. Now you have Pokes and Gabe on the ultimate high ground. You have Bugsy on the low ground. Noah's going down there in the storm, as Hidden Salty also does. You have Nikiski and Dyslexic trying to hang out in the tree, not be a threat, just little Christmas ornaments hanging out. But Barnix is going to pick up EXYQ, and now we've seen a lot. Pyro Boyle sitting on 53 points with his partner TJ, as TJ is working down Boyle, trying to cover inside, finds the player, rotating on the mid-tarp, but Barnix again going to pick up the high impact elimination as Noctin goes down. Boyle challenging, gets the AR spray and picks up Barnix. Is he able to get the second one? He's looking for it. They have the edit play. See the dynamite over on the side. Does get ownership of the wall, but there's another one in the way. Can they get the angle? No, it doesn't take the shot. They know the player's there. He edits back out. Oh no! Lost his opportunity to hit the player. Instead, going to take the opportunity, get his shields back in line, as the classic does get forced down. So now Royal and TJ are right next to each other, but cannot get touched by the storm. How well do you edit? Do you do your drills? Do you do your practice? Can you hit your shots? The answer is yes. Boyle picking up Nikiski there as TJ still needs just a stiff breeze to knock him over. It's Voil and TJ on the mid-tarp. Dyslexic on that low ground. Gabe and Pokes above him on the high ground. Zeke, you see Gabe in the top right, Dyslexic in the bottom right, everyone else on the mid-tarp.
Yes, I am. But now TJ, if anyone even blinks on him right now, Pyro goes down. TJ's in a world of trouble right now. Dyslexic on the lowest ground now. Gabe and Pro actually close this out. We see another pair of the duo. Now it's just a 2v1. They need to drop down on this player, and there you go, textbook. That is a player going back to lobby to Victory Royale for Gabe and his duo partner Poax. 7 eliminations, so a 17-point game. You like to see it. You like to see it indeed.
That's definitely Pokes, not Poax.
Pokes.
Definitely Pokes.
Okay.
That one.
I'm sorry, listen.
If it's Poax and I'm wrong, I'll eat Zeke sock on stream. And don't just say it because you're wrong. Now jumping right on board and Tfue and I was gonna say your shoes, but I know you love those shoes. They're brand new. They're nice. Everyone compliments him. Jumping on board here with Cloak and Tfue. See them already splitting the builds over 5 polar peaks, so plenty of variable vertical terrain going to be coming into play. And you also see the shadow bombs in the inventory of Cloak. Not sure if Tfue has any, but Yellow also in the match, so not the only phase members hanging around. JT in there, you see Tazumi heading for that community jump pad, Nanolite and Top Gun using the zip line to rotate up that Old Man Mountain. Closely missing the jump up, but putting a cheeky little trap there, so if anybody opts to take that ramp, it will fire. Not sure how well that one works out for him. You have Tyler and Tyler Pickett, 1, 2, 3, 4 Elans coming down from Tyler and Lennon. Nanolite does get picked up by Cloaksy to push us into that top 15, as now he turns and gets an angle on basically the rest of the lobby, was forced to rotate up.
And Polar Peak, just like you talked about, that elevation is absolutely deadly. You know, you have to make these rotations as quickly as possible. The longer you wait to make the rotation, the worse, in every sense of the word, it is for you and your duo partner. Now, keep in mind, Tipu qualified in solos, so right now they're looking to qualify together as a duo, and potentially Cloak may even try to qualify as solo as well. We're going to find a few eliminations along the way. That Sting Grenade is very good. I don't think he picked up that elimination on the left. I think that was someone else because that did not come through.
Correct. He did not get that elimination. Was putting a ton of pressure. Now they're trying to use the stick plus the RPG to get the conversion on the Elam. The player, will he crawl out? No. So that was the first one to be down. The other player is low. TP will convert on that. Now they're going to go play Luke Goblin in that funnel that they just saw get shot out. Should have enough coverage and a nice little upgrade there, upgrading the shotgun rarity, and then they should be able to push out. Now we're going to swing on board, have 2 of the Pyro players, Happy and Bambi. And I think Pyro is another kind of one of these friend groups. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I absolutely love those stories, like-minded players pushing each other to get better. Now you see Happy and Bam getting whatever shots they can in there, a couple of knocks, but nothing converted yet as they go for the rip. Joseph converts the knock onto Exist and pushes them up another point for 6 elims, and you see the horde of ballers working their way over the mountain like lemmings, just all following each other, going down there. And honestly, this is the most we've seen in a match for a while.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it just depends on your playstyle and what you kind of find, and whether or not players decide to punish you for using a baller. Tifu and Cloak here, I like that they're passing things along. Keep in mind, they're again, we're talking about the viability of these shadow bombs, right? And right now, Cloak thinks it's so valuable, he'll keep just the one in his inventory. He feels he can put it to that much work, and I want to see that happen, right? Because again,